What's up, everybody? This is Brent Brookhouse. On the other end of the Skype call is all Egan. Nope, that's not it. You're not all Egan. You are all ego, Ethan Page. Great start. This is
awful.
Just a firecracker start here.
You know what, though? I kind of enjoy the podcast where you shit the bed at the beginning, because then I get to roast you. It's like a little warm-up before we actually start this thing off.
Yeah, it really sets the tone, sets the expectations right for anybody who's checking out the show for the first time.
Oh, keep them low.
Right, and then we'll just come out and surprise you sometimes. I'm disappointed in last show. I feel like the Deadpool talk didn't go as great as I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. The Avengers stuff we did was great.
That's true. I think there was more substance in the Avengers than the Deadpool stuff. Not to say that there's not a lot to talk about with the Deadpool, but like not as emotionally invested. So by the time it actually came to discussing it, we were just like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There's not a lot to talk about unless we're just going to talk about the movie from start to finish, which
right.
That's not that fun.
Exactly.
So yeah, what's been going on?
A whole lot. I am loving being a dad, other than this giant shit that my baby took this morning. So I had to deal with that. Side note, I didn't deal with it. I almost got a divorce because I told my wife, I'm like, I can't do this one, because I started gagging. It was bad. It was like, baby has 2 layers of clothing, so she has the little onesie, and then above that is like a little sleeper, and it was soaked through both on her chest.
Yeah, I got that the other day. I got from, it was up on top of the baby's shoulders down to her feet.
Oh my God. You just throw her in the bathtub and just spray her down.
Yeah, as I was stripping her, all her clothes off, then got the diaper off, and then she just proceeded to shit all over the floor as I was trying to carry her to the bath.
Oh man, rookie move. You gotta just leave them for a bit.
Yeah, you'd think that you'd think I'd know better being on my second, but I just figured there was no way there was anything left inside of this kid.
Oh, well, she proved you wrong.
Yeah, but there was. So yeah.
That is a great way to start this podcast.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time.
Okay, so things I want to talk about this week. One of them being Roseanne being canceled. Is that when we talked about this before clicking start, you were very much against discussing this. Can we start with that? Why?
It's a slippery slope to go down.
In what way?
I am an extremely liberal person, to the point where I just want to yell about how terrible she is. And
okay, so let's do that then.
I just don't know that there's a ton of value in that for people that are tuning in for.
Here's my thing. I really liked the show a lot.
And I did not watch it once it came back. I have not watched it.
Okay, so you can't comment on the actual show. There was a lot of awesome, I don't know I don't know what liberal means. I don't know what conservative means. I don't know any of that stuff. But there was some great episodes where she would say and do stupid racist things, and then, or not racist, but make fun of the one kid there was a gay kid, there was an interracial marriage, their neighbors were Muslim, and they were saying they were terrorists, and they all end up learning a lesson in the end, hey, that's wrong. So it's ironic that she didn't learn anything on her own TV show. But,
well, and I mean, this is not new for her. This is
right.
It goes back so far.
They have to know the danger in signing her on for this huge show, and like, who cares about the money it makes? There's a massive fandom for it, and now it might end up like Kramer.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. There was already talk about, and I didn't click on the article, but there was talk about, you know, former White House, like former Trump White House aides that have something to do with TV trying to bring it back. I don't know where that would be, but the thing that sucks is it's one of those things where one person's actions have cost so many people a job on
Oh
top
my
of it.
God. Dude. Bajillions of dollars.
Right. I
Gone.
mean, it's so much money for everybody else involved. And I mean, we talked about it with God, we've talked about it with when I was let go from Flow Slam, that like my hard feelings towards the company did not mean I wanted the company to fold, because there's good people that work there. You know, regardless of my feelings about a specific person or two in management, that doesn't mean that I want, you know, the web designers and the cameramen and all those people to end up looking for a job. Like, that's shitty.
Right.
So and it, you know, that trickles down to, we've talked about it with wrestling promotions that we don't necessarily like, or promoters we don't like, but we still want, you know, wrestlers and associated people to be able to make money. So that's the part that really sucks, is she couldn't just not. Like, it's bad enough if you have the kind of thoughts that lead you to, it's just bad enough to have really horrible racist or anti-Semitic or homophobic or whatever thoughts, and just not having the ability to just not say it in public is so much worse. Like, just don't.
Yeah, man. It's just like, you have no idea how much it bothers me that the show is off the air. My wife, this is a very selfish reason, but my wife and I started rewatching the old Roseannes. We might have even talked about this on the podcast a couple episodes ago.
We talked about it a while ago, but
And so like, we're like pseudo obsessed with it, and man, now this gets canceled. We started watching the new episodes, and it's like, why do you need to ruin this for everybody? You stupid woman. Just like, imagine throwing away all that money. Just, could you imagine? You have 2 kids, like, you just started that new job, you land this fucking epic job that you used to have that made you a gajillion dollars. For some reason, people still care about that position, and they get it back, and you're just like, who cares? Let's just be a piece of shit.
And it's such a weird show. Like, of all the shows that I would have ever thought would come back, Roseanne wasn't tops on that list. I mean,
Dude,
Are
you joking?
No, I mean, just in terms of, I mean, I was a kid when it was, you know, on every week, and it was like, it was a thing that my family would watch every week. And I mean, this is before DVR, obviously, and, you know, if we were going to miss it, then you had to set your VCR to, you know, record at the right time and hope you had the channels set up right and everything. So, I mean, it was a big deal when I was a kid, but it felt like something that was very specific to the time it was on. It didn't feel necessarily like, I don't know, I just wouldn't have expected that to be a show that would come back.
That blows my mind, because it was one of, if not the most popular TV shows of all time.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, I don't necessarily think that being popular meant that it would come back just for,
In today's day and age?
yeah, I don't know. I guess it just, I don't know. But I mean, on top of that, there was also, like I said, the years of Roseanne doing horrible things like dressing up like Hitler and burning cookies for a photo shoot. Like, that's not usually somebody that a network is going to say, okay, let's give her a show.
Yeah, let's bring this girl back. Oh, man. What a mess. What a mess. I feel so bad. So this is the thing that broke my wife and I's hearts the most is the fact that there's actors on this show that haven't done anything since Roseanne that aren't going to do anything again. I'm not talking about John Goodman. He'll be fine.
Right.
It's like the relatives and the kids, and it's like, man, couldn't you just shut up for those people to collect a paycheck? But no, she couldn't. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people that shouldn't have social media because they just can't handle the very minor responsibility.
But then again, maybe this is for the best because maybe she didn't deserve like all that money because of the person she is, and this is her way of getting caught, or finally getting like, you know what I'm trying to say,
Consequences for
the dumb shit that she's been saying for the last whatever.
Right. So, yeah, I guess basically I'm glad we're on the same page. I was worried that it was just going to be like, it wasn't that bad. I like that show. So.
No. I really liked the show. This happened to me. This is twice now. Because I really liked the show Last Man Standing. We talked about this before too.
Right, and I had a whole Tim Allen freak out.
Which is fun. Like, again, we agreed on that too. Like, if you're a piece of shit, whatever. But so this is now 2 shows that I'm like, oh wow, that's a funny show, and now it's gone. So that's some heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah, it just bums me out that anybody is like that in, I guess, modern times. Not that it was okay in the past, but just that. I don't know.
It's especially hard to believe that people are still set in those ways. And never mind whatever your like her tweets or whatever her political beliefs were or anything like that. Is it that hard to just be a good person?
Yeah, you would think not. This is one of the really... We have a lost episode that we recorded before the Avengers episode, but the audio got all screwed up, and it sucks because it was a really, really good episode. And we talked about... God, why can't I remember the guy's name now? Ember Moon's guy. And his...
right. Yeah.
King of the Black Women shirt or whatever it was,
right?
And
yes,
doing racist characters and everything, and just being that out of touch with like where society is now. I really wish we hadn't lost that episode because there was so much.
Well, I'm sure you still have the audio.
I have your audio. I have nothing of me outside of a little bit of fuzz every time I talk.
Come on.
Yeah, it sucks.
How does that happen? Never mind people being racist in today's day and age. How does technology suck that much in today's day and age?
I don't know. Every time that we've had it happen has been when you're overseas, which I'm just trying to shift the blame back to you.
Whatever. I'm okay with it. I mean, technically it is my fault.
So you had a whole list of things you wanted to talk about. Where do you want to go next?
That was my big one. Because I was such a fan of the show and I couldn't believe someone is that stupid saying those incredibly stupid things. But the next thing I wanted to talk about was I wanted to discuss with you the current climate in professional wrestling when it comes to DVD purchases compared to video on demand. Because I'm in a little bit of a, I don't want to say awkward scenario because it's not awkward at all, but I'm trying to see, like, it's just really tough to like explain. I'm trying to see if it's worth stopping selling DVDs.
I mean, personally, I'd say yes, but that's just because I have no interest in buying wrestling DVDs anymore because of the market shift.
Right. So we'll just speak personally about what's going on with me then. So when it comes to the DVDs, Smart Mark Video gets the most recent stuff, and they sell the DVDs for whatever, and then I think Powerbomb TV only gets things between a year. So like it has to be a year old.
So unless it's an event that you have them stream live, like you did the
Right. That's why people can watch Show Me What You Got, because that was live and they produced the footage.
right. And I should throw out, and we can talk about it later, but a couple episodes ago you said that I should go back and watch The Long Halloween, so I've been doing that when I'm up overnight, like feeding the baby. And
Oh,
really good show.
right.
So yeah, if you have Powerbomb, that is on there, and you should definitely watch it.
Oh man, thanks. That's great. Thank you for saying that because I'm really glad that you watched it.
I'm about halfway through. It'll get finished tonight.
Fantastic. So next week we'll have a full review.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. That made me very happy.
Okay, so
So anyway, so back to this debate. Um, so I know I know the viewership is a lot higher on Powerbomb than it would be on our DVD sales.
right.
Now, I don't know if it's ignorant of me to assume that, but I think with the numbers that I've been told for subscribers, which I should not say out loud just because it's not my place to say that, but with the amount of subscribers they have, which is a very fair number, uh, compared to the amount of DVDs we sell, I would much rather make the same amount of money in 1 month and have more people see it than have less people see it and make the same amount. So, like, let's say I could make the same amount of, let's just say I sell 100 DVDs, and that's X amount of dollars. And let's just say 500, just for the sake of this argument. So 100
It's
DVDs.
clearly not. You don't sell $5 DVDs, but for the sake of argument, there we go.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying, just so that we can get this
Right,
out of
so
the
we
way.
have numbers, yeah.
Yeah. So let's say I make $500 a month on Smart Market Video for selling 100 DVDs, but Powerbomb TV could be like, hey, we'll give you $500. Again, they haven't said anything like this, but we'll give you $500 to give us all your shows every month. So it would turn from 100 people watching the show making $500 to over 1,000 people. Again, just making numbers up. Over 1,000 people watching the show, which could turn into more money in the end.
Right, yeah, and I mean, obviously that the more people see it, the more people are going to be interested, and uh, that can turn into beyond just viewership and word of mouth with their friends, people getting on social media, and I mean, by far the most I've seen anyone talk about an Alpha One show was Show Me What You Got, because
The live
people,
stream.
right, the live stream, people were putting out gifs and everything, and which makes sense. Obviously, I've seen people put out gifs from old shows that they've watched on Powerbomb, but it's not quite the same thing as a live or new show, which just
Right.
naturally has more buzz.
Exactly, because it's current.
Right.
So these are my frustrations, because I would much rather, if like, we're not talking about thousands of dollars here. We're talking about hundreds to maybe $1,000. So I would much rather have. I'm just again thinking out loud. Like, I haven't agreed to anything or done anything, but this is what this show is for, is wrestling talk. So I don't know, man. That's what I'm currently dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a bigger fan of. I mean, I love where wrestling is now, that I can, check out different promotions and, find stuff that I like and promotions that I want to follow and talk about and everything. That's so much easier between High Spots and Powerbomb and all the different outlets that you have now. So as a fan, it's great. And I mean, I think if you're able to make the same amount of money and get it seen by more people, then that seems like a fairly easy choice, at least to me. But then again, like I don't have the disposable income that I did when I was younger to buy wrestling DVDs kind of at will. I spent a lot of money in my youth on wrestling DVDs, or back in the tape trading days, getting some shitty VHS copy from some guy across the country.
Right. And yeah, so that right now that's my struggle is trying to accommodate people, but also turn a profit. Again, it's a wrestling business, so like I want A1 to do well, so that money can go back into it to get new talent or invest in something else. You know what I mean? So like,
Well,
yeah,
there's also something to be said for the idea of if you know you are going to make that money versus hoping that you're going to sell the DVDs and you don't just have kind of a random occurrence where for some reason this month DVD sales are way down. You know, you just have the guaranteed money coming in from...
which there's been that in a sense that some shows obviously get more buzz than others.
Right.
So,
yeah.
yeah. So you're saying go with the streaming service. I think it's a lot easier to give people incentive to sign up for $9.99 instead, because now too, like, I'm running 3 different towns, so that's 3 shows a month potentially. That's almost $60 with shipping on a DVD.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's also like selfish on my part that I just want to be able to see more stuff. But something like Alpha One, where you are very storyline driven, and we've talked about this before, like seeing show me what you got and then, you know, wanting to see where things build to.
Right.
But you know, again, I'm not going to go out of my way personally to order DVDs. Just, again, disposable income, all that fun stuff. So, selfishly, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and creatively, I want that too, just because, like, this is an outlet for me to kind of write my ideas down and see them come to life. And I, as an artist, like every other artist, want feedback. So it's like, I want people to be watching these guys absolutely kill themselves to make my crazy bookings come true.
Right, and I mean, also as, you know, both a creative person and a friend of a lot of these people, when somebody does have a great match, I mean, I'm sure you want more people to see it than...
Of course.
Yeah, so...
100%.
Yeah, man. So that's a decision that you're facing. But I mean, I feel like every promotion is going that way. Either they're, you know, partnering with Powerbomb or High Spots, or they're setting up their own pivot share and trying to partner with other promotions, or, you know.
Right. And so that's the thing too, is like, I don't want to get stuck in the past over a couple $100.
Right. But there's also, I mean, we've talked about it before. You don't really have any desire to move Alpha One beyond kind of your general area in Canada. Like, you've said you're never going to be like trying to like take advantage of an all-in situation and hold a show or co-promote a show or something where there's going to be a ton of fans or anything. That's not your goal with Alpha One.
No, but now, in a response to that, let's say I end up getting the numbers and the viewership has gone skyrocketed because of the accessibility of it. Why not do something like that?
Right. I mean, you have, and I'm just purely talking out of my ass here, but you have a good relationship with, say, Freelance. And Freelance has a good relationship with Powerbomb. And if you were to get a deal with Powerbomb. I mean, there are things creatively you could do to build to a co-promoted show, across the two promotions, which, artistically might be interesting.
Yeah, and I've kind of been in the middle of the, discussion trying to get Alpha One to do a co-promoted event in Chicago. So we're waiting to finalize that. I got a hard no today for a date. Now we're just checking another date.
See, that's exciting. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like that everything comes to my area these days. All in isn't far. As long as things keep coming to Chicago or Detroit, I'm good. That
Hell
serves
yeah.
me well personally. Okay, so you mentioned you started a weird Instagram account.
Yeah, I so I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but whatever. So I am an avid toy collector. This is a thing that's been very public. And a friend of mine, a wrestler by the name of Steve Brown, wrestles on Alpha One, created an Instagram account for him to take pictures of his toys. And I was like, yo, that's kind of cool, because that's everything that I follow on my Instagram is that specifically. So I was like, do you mind if I do a couple and send them to you and then you could post them? And he was like, yeah, sure, that's great. And now I've kind of taken over it. And I'll try and do one or two a week, but I go all out. So
okay.
You guys should follow it and check it out. It's called Multiverse Legends. It's a kind of play on words for what we collect. Can you take a look at it?
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, pull it up on your...
Let's see. Multiverse Legend. Okay, I'm having trouble finding it here. Is it just Instagram.com?
It should be, yeah. Instagram.com, Multiverse Legends.
Okay, there it is. I definitely just misspelled legends because I'm not a writer professionally or anything. Oh, damn. Yeah, you're doing all the graphics and shit.
Pretty good, right?
It's real good. It's pretty cool.
Pretty nerdy, though.
Oh, for sure, but that's totally fine.
Yeah, so, check it out. We're trying to get as many followers as we can on that. And it doesn't cost you anything, so that's also a positive.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I'm a fan.
Man,
I don't have an Instagram account or anything, so I'm not going to follow it. But
right, yeah, you don't have to. That's totally fine. I understand.
Well, I just don't have an Instagram account. So.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so weird Instagram, Smart Mark versus Powerbomb, Roseanne getting canceled. We're all over the map today, and I like it.
Well, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Why not?
Okay, so we probably should rewind. Since we talked about Alpha One, we shouldn't have moved away from Alpha One since you just had a show.
Yes, I am all about talking about it because we just had a show and it was fantastic. And this is the big thing that's been screwing me mentally, is because I want people to see it, but I've had it edited since Wednesday and online for download for Smart Mark Video, but they're out of the office right now. So my rush order of this DVD is kind of useless. So if I sent it to Powerbomb, it could be up and viewable within hours, but we're not in that scenario right now, so
right,
it bothers me. Anyway, so the show was fantastic, top to bottom. We had a fan drive all the way from Chicago and let us know that it was worth the trip, so that's always good.
Yeah, that's impressive. All right, so tell me about it.
So Gangrel wrestled in the main event against Ricky Shane Page, which was wild. Gangrel was bumping all over the floor. It was nuts. Superplexes, power bombs. He took a toss, a Beal, from Ricky. It was crazy. It was a good match. Very good match. Gangrel, workhorse. Myself and Josh Alexander returned as the Monster Mafia which changed the entire booking of the year because I did not plan on us having that good of chemistry or reaction from the crowd. It was amazing.
In what world wouldn't you think that, though?
I don't know. Like, I don't give myself enough credit, and Josh has been there so long that I don't know. I just didn't put two and two together, and I was wrong. It was a very special thing for the audience. They really enjoyed it. They were very happy. The match was very good. So this is a thing that I have to adjust now moving forward. Calling an audible.
So, I mean, how, without getting into details, obviously, but how much of your plans does it change? Is it top to bottom promotion wide, or because you plan a lot in advance?
Yeah, I do, but no, I wouldn't say top to bottom. I think that it's changed a couple events, but nothing substantial. There's still I guess, what are they called? Waypoints on the route, that I have to hit. So it's maybe we took a detour, but there's events that need to have certain things happen to get us to where we need to go. Whether it's people winning belts or losing belts or turns or whatever. Don't assume any of those. I'm just saying there's moments that we have planning that peak to our final show. So yeah.
All right. Well, personally, it was very exciting to have that happen. I mean, Monster Mafia is an incredible tag team. One of my favorite tag teams.
Well,
actually.
it's and that's another thing too. Is I want people to see this because Josh and I are going to the UK at the end of June. It's the more people that see that we're still awesome, the better. But no, whatever. The show's on sale coming this weekend.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't want to give anything away. I was going to say you've always got YouTube, but yeah, I suppose you don't want to give away a huge recent match for free that doesn't really benefit you that much.
Right. It doesn't. Maybe I'll put a little clip up. I don't know. I'll think of something.
All right. So anything else worth talking about from the show?
On the show, yeah, Space Monkey and Shane Saber started teaming as the Space Pirates, so that was great. Jody Fleisch versus DJZ lived up to every expectation. Yeah, honestly, I know we were just arguing over whether or not to buy a DVD, but I would say it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't want to say it's not worth buying any promotion's DVD, let alone yours. It's just my personal situation is, now I've got 2 kids, and it's not the same for me personally as it was when I was, in my early 20s and single and wanted to buy every wrestling DVD and have some nerdy ass collection of weird shit that I just randomly would decide to order every time my paycheck came in. So
right, exactly. Yeah, I don't know, but it could mean that we're gonna end up full time on Powerbomb. I don't know. I shouldn't even be talking about this.
Well, I don't think there's anything that could really negatively affect you here. I mean, the 2 options are both viable. It's just which way do you want to go? Right.
Yeah. It's true.
All right, so you've got another show coming up, right?
Yes, we do, but it's all the way in July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So lots of time to wait for that one.
And what else did you have going on this past weekend?
Oh my God, this is what I'm the worst at, is remembering things that I did. Oh, I had the JLIT tournament Friday and Saturday in Cleveland. It's just, dude, it's so hard. Once I finish stuff, I'm so focused on what's next, I just delete out of my mind everything that had just already happened. But anyways, so I did a Jayla tournament, which was a lot of fun. A lot of good dynamic between myself and a wrestler named Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham, where he is trying to motivate me to become the wrestler I used to be in AIW. So I'm on like a little redemption, but also I don't trust him. So it was good. I lost in the first round, and then we had a nice tag match against Hornswoggle and PB Smooth, which is a 7-foot wrestler, so it's hilarious to see them tag together. And there's a sequence of stuff I did with Hornswoggle that I think people will really enjoy if they end up checking out that DVD. I'm hoping for a singles against Hornswoggle anywhere. Someone book that.
If only you could book that.
Yeah, maybe I can. But I would rather be a heel.
All right, so yeah, you had J-Lit, you had Alpha One, and you've had some stuff on Twitter the last couple days, some weird matchups. So you're wrestling.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Don't you have a match coming up with Matt Tremont?
Oh yeah, why is that weird?
I don't know. I just don't. That is a match that I just can't really envision. I don't know. You versus...
I think that's a match made in heaven.
I mean, once I saw it, yes, but just like the idea of it never would have popped in my head. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Oh well, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be good. When I saw it, it just was a very Okay. So what else is coming up for you then? We'll just move right on past my thinking that that's super weird.
Yeah, it's not. I think that's a match. When it was announced, people were like, "Oh, this makes sense." I could understand you never putting two and two together, but I think that like in wrestling, we're puzzle pieces that match, and I think we're gonna have really good chemistry. I could be wrong. I mean, we're gonna find out at What Wrestling. But I think it's going to be great. And this weekend, it's myself versus another deathmatch guy, even though he hates being called a deathmatch guy, Joe Gacy, for Excite Wrestling in Binghamton, New York. So that's Saturday, and then Sunday I'm in my hometown. The price was right, and I'm wrestling for Courage Pro Wrestling in a 3-way dance. So, yeah, it'll be good. I get to sleep in my own bed both nights.
Oh, nice. Hey, let me ask you a really weird question.
Sure.
Does it bother you when people say wrestling is fake?
No.
Okay, thank God. It drives me crazy when people have these weird, over-the-top reactions of no, it's not, because yes, it is.
Okay, well, you just took a hard turn there.
Well, it's just it's this like old ass thing where people are like, why do you like wrestling? Wrestling is fake. And then a wrestling fan responds with like, it's not fake, it's predetermined. No, it's fake, and that's fine.
Yeah, especially my wrestling.
Yeah, your wrestling's the fakest.
I go out of my way to make sure it's fake because I chose to be in this. Like, I despise this real hit each other. Like, Walter is my favorite wrestler, but least favorite wrestler at the same time.
Well, yeah, and even that, the impact of a chop might be real, but it's still fake in that, it's not like he's shooting on you.
Okay, yes. Oh, see, now I like this. This turned into the Rolodex of ideas Brent Brookhouse has to kill time to reach an hour. And now
it does.
And now
it's right there next to. It's right there next to. Does it bother you when non-wrestlers say brother?
Oh, it bothers me when wrestlers say brother. It's the most First of all, we're not related. Second of all, this whole calling people your uncle and your dad on Twitter is real lame. I'm sorry if you don't have a real family, but at the end of the day, there's no such thing as family in wrestling because any of these guys would stab you in the back to make $10 more than you. So stop calling people brother, sister, uncle, papa, grandfather, and just show up to your booking and not be a weirdo. How about that? How about you stop calling me brother? Because I have two real brothers and I would do anything for them. I would not do anything for you. Not in a fucking million years. So don't ever call me brother.
Oh God, I need to dip into the Rolodex more often.
Oh my god. Anyways, back to Walter, my favorite slash least favorite wrestler. I only say least because I never want to wrestle him. Because I love my Dwayne Johnson punches, and I love when people give them back to me. I do not want to go home with welts on my chest. And it's like, yes, that is a style of wrestling. And obviously, yes, people do enjoy it. Like, look at the guy. He's a superstar. He's PWG champ. Progress is doing everything that they can with him. He's the top of the indies right now. Like, to say that he's doing something wrong, I'm in no place financially or popularity-wise to say he is. But I grew up thinking the art of professional wrestling is to make it look like you're hurting somebody without actually hurting them. Now, if you're going to tell me that, yes, it looks like he's hurting people, but it doesn't actually hurt, come on.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying.
No. But I'm saying, what I'm saying is that that goes against what I believe what wrestling is.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why I say favorite but least favorite. Favorite because I'll watch that shit all day, just like death matches. But do not involve me in it at all.
Right. I think that goes back to, I mean, we've talked a lot about, like, shit that you hate. There's a lot of it that's, moves that are just dropping people on their heads.
Yeah, it's just like so unnecessary. Like the most injured I've been in a little while was trying to protect Johnny Gargano before he went to WWE, giving him a package pile driver. I blew my back out, literally like a bulged disc in my spine, because I leaned to the side so I wouldn't hit his head because I was so nervous about him going to WWE with like a tweaked neck or whatever. And then the next injury I had was a torn bicep because Zack Sabre Jr. kicked me so hard. And it's like, I'll accept my injury because I was trying to protect somebody, but my bicep tear was so unnecessary.
That's just hard to imagine, being kicked and your bicep tearing.
Yeah, man, it was fucking painful. I remember getting absolutely hammered. This was the second time we wrestled.
So this was Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. Yep, for the title. The big promo. The finish was like 3 kicks to the chest, and I think the 2 kicks hurt so much I kind of bitched out a little bit and like brought my arm in, and it was just kick to the arm, like bicep. And we ended up going to the hotel, and I was like, "Yo, Stokely, I need to go to the bar because like my arm is fucked and I'm not going to sleep at all. Like I couldn't bend it, I couldn't move it." And then you'll see the next day I wrestled Dijak, and I'm covered in white tape around my elbow because like I needed it to be as protected as possible. And right at the like elbow bicep, like the peak of the bicep, right where it connects to the elbow, was just demolished. And I was like, "Homie, I can't do anything. I'm so sorry." And
see, I'm remembering now because Chicago is where you and I went outside after the show and filmed that little thing because we were doing the bet for the Control of Flow Slam, so I could take a vacation and
right.
Make it look like you took over. And you were talking about your arm when we went out there, and I didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah, man.
And then I remember in Detroit people being surprised that you and Dijak had a mostly comedy match.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really fun match, and the cell phone stuff is still a highlight. But yeah, that all makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, but I'm not a pussy, so I just don't like, "Oh, go fund me. I need money for my injury."
Damn.
Yeah. Sorry.
So not a fan of the GoFundMe's
No, it makes
for
me mad.
injuries.
It makes me so mad. And you know what makes me even more mad is the guys that made millions of dollars that are like, "Oh, I'm broke. Can you guys pay for my hip surgery?" Like, what? Where'd all that money go? Drugs. Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
Man, the idea Rolodex is gold.
Sorry, it bothers me. And like, I don't. These could be the nicest people in the world, and yes, I feel for you. People get addicted to things, and they go down wrong paths, and people do become smarter, better human beings with time. They grow, they mature. But you're asking broke fans to pay for you to get better when you were rolling in the dough and you couldn't save a penny. How is that their fault?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, like you said, people can recover, they can, better themselves, but the personal responsibility aspect and then putting it on everybody else is rough.
Exactly. Like, uh, my favorite GoFundMe, well, I don't like them because they're awful. Uh, is like if like let's say like a tragedy happens or a parent passes away and like a wife needs to pay for a funeral or they need hospital bills paid for their kid who's going through like fucking chemo treatment or something. Like that's where the money needs to go. That's where people should be donating their money is to families in need. Like, single income households with people that have six fucking kids and one of them just got AIDS. I don't know, whatever. Like they're dealing with something. Those are the people that need your aid, not fucking former famous wrestlers who blew millions of dollars on cocaine. All of a sudden, they need a hip surgery, and all the broke people now have to pay for it. It's like no, there's people in the world that this website was made for, and rich people who blew their money on nothing are not the people that need our help.
All right, so to recap, wrestling is fake, calling somebody brother sucks, and fuck your GoFundMe.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, all right, good. I like it. Um,
Man, I got real mad there for a second. I'm gonna have a lot of heat.
well, don't worry. If you lose bookings, you can just set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, single income household. That's right. I haven't made millions of dollars, so I can do GoFundMe. Suck it.
So we talked about this a little bit. It was either one or two shows ago, but I guess just to clarify, feelings on the idea of charging for selfies or autographs.
Oh man.
We talked about it, I think, before WrestleMania weekend because you did not at WrestleCon. I think that was the deal. But just at a regular show, this is because it kind of became a thing with some fans and Jordan Grace the other day.
Oh,
Because,
could I get the
yeah,
rundown?
yeah. Let me pull it up here.
I don't want to speak candidly.
Yeah, hang on. I will have it in just a second, and I'm just trying to. Here we go. Okay, so it starts with kind of just her joking around saying 3 days ago people paid to take a photo with me. Today my cat took a shit on the floor while staring directly into my eyes. Then somebody said that's what you get for charging money for your autograph with some facepalm emojis. She said yeah, because that's totally unheard of. Then people were saying things like not unheard of but lame to charge fans for signing shit or taking a 5-second selfie. They already paid to see you perform. She said, you really have to understand what goes into being a wrestler before you can evaluate what we charge money for. The 10 to 20 minute performance is the easiest part at times. So
I don't disagree with that.
Right. That's the that's kind of where my asking about it comes from.
So I don't believe in the charging for pictures. However, when I go to those conventions and stuff like that, I will always put free with a purchase.
Right, and I think, and I ended up writing about it a little bit. I do the daily column now over at CagesideSeats.com, who are also the people that make this podcast possible, as I always like to point out. But I just wrote about it that because in my view, nobody is owed anything for paying for a ticket. You're not owed, free shit if somebody wants to charge for it. Because, I mean, like we just covered, the wrestling can a lot of times be the easiest part, and there's a lot of costs that I don't think fans take into consideration, like gear, travel, all that stuff, which, I mean, travel can be paid for, hotel rooms can be paid for, but not at all levels, not for all bookings. So yeah, there's just a lot that goes in, and my personal opinion is fans should not act like they are owed anything.
Damn. I mean, I can't disagree with that, but my thought is, let's say I'm just hanging out at the airport and some dude's like, yo, homie, can I get a picture with you? And I'm like, what am I going to say? Give me $10?
Right, there's that, but that also goes to, I mean, there's times where people just want to be left alone in an airport too, and if they say that, then, people get pissed off that, they were blown off or whatever.
I would just be like, yeah, sure.
Right, I mean, it's not hard to say yeah, sure, but I also think it's perfectly valid if somebody's fucking tired and beat up and doesn't want to deal with it to just be like, yeah, not right now. But, so, charging for autographs and selfies, free with purchase makes a lot of sense. Like, hey, since I just paid you $25 for this shirt, can you just throw your name on it real quick? Doesn't seem like a lot to ask, but...
Yo, who the hell's charging $25 for a shirt?
I don't know. Probably you.
No, I'm going to have to raise my prices, I guess. But yeah, so that is the gist of my thoughts on that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Like, my thought is, I would, no problem, just be like, yeah, sure, take a picture. And some people just don't read the sign, free with purchase, and they just go, hey, can I get a pic? And I'm like, yeah, sure. As long as you're not holding up the line, it's no big deal. Because, like, if there's people in line waiting to purchase or talk or whatever, and you just want to pick quick in and out, no problem.
But I guess, does it, I don't know, what do you think when you see somebody that is charging, $5 for a selfie or, an extra $5 to autograph something? And certainly not throwing anything at Jordan. I mean, very nice young woman, no issues there. I'm not saying, like, do you think she's being shitty? But if you're at a show and you see that...
And two, I will say, well, girls charge for photos most of the time. It's not really like I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. It's very normal for females to charge for photos. And it's just a thing that's just like glossed over because, hey, people are in wrestling to make money, and wrestling fans, some of them go there just for the attractive female athletes, and if they're able to squeeze $10, I mean, it would be it's a lot easier for them to do it than us.
Yeah, and totally different worlds in terms of. I have seen, like, most of the time if I'm at a show, I end up kind of hanging out near the merch tables because I might be working getting photos, or, I generally would rather give up my seat to, somebody who might be at a show for the first time or whatever. But I have seen so many weird, socially awkward dudes bring bags of things and give them to women wrestlers, like, hey, I bought you a bunch of stuff off your Amazon wish list, here you go, thanks, bye. And it's so weird. I mean, good on the wrestlers if people want to do that, that's cool, but it's so weird to see. Definitely have never seen it with a male wrestler, and it's just a very different worlds in how the merch tables operate between
I don't know,
the two sexes.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't gloss over this because I get a lot of love from fans, and like a lot, because they'll bring me a lot of nerdy things. I've had fans literally just bring me Marvel Legends. Man, a lot of collectibles, a lot of rock merchandise, a lot of comic books. Right now, I'm literally tweeting with a fan who said they want to ship me patches for my entrance vest. It's just like I've had fan art literally painted. I'm looking at it right now of Spider-Man. They used comic books as the backdrop and glued them to a canvas and painted over it. Like, I have a lot of cool things down here in my man cave as I record this that were given to me by fans at a merch table. So,
all right, well, fine. Way to just ruin my whole bit. Good job.
But yes, I will agree with you. Women get I don't want to say priority treatment because a lot of these fans are just specifically female wrestling fans, and all the power to them. If they can get it, get it. You should still be respectful and mindful of the people you're giving gifts to. Just because you're giving people gifts does not give you the right to say things in a derogatory manner or, be a creep. So
yeah, I mean, going back to you're not owed anything, you are especially not owed anything for doing something nice for a woman.
Especially if they didn't ask for it.
Right. If you just, hey, I got this for you, it does not give you the right to, like you said, be a creep. All right. Well, I think we can just plug our shit and get on out of here. Yeah. Oh, wait. I want to hit one more thing. Your new gear. I just want to give you some props for the new gear.
Oh, thanks. Which one?
Both of them, the Shocker and the Carnage one.
Yeah, I love them. I can't believe I wear brown tights with gray boots. That's like the epitome of an old man. Like that gear makes me look like the old man from Up. That's what he would wear if he was a wrestler. Brown, yellow, and gray.
But his matches would be emotionally resonant, and I would love them.
Hell yeah. It'd bring a tear to your eye.
All right, go ahead and plug your shit.
ProWrestlingTees.com/Ethan Page. Instagram is @official_ego. Also, my nerd Instagram is @Multiverse Legends. Check me out on Twitter. That's what I use the most. Twitter is @OfficialEgo. And don't forget, Powerbomb.tv. If you use promo code ALPHA1, ALPHA, and the number 1, you get 20 days for free. And join us because next week we will be reviewing The Long Halloween. Brent will be reviewing it. And then I'm going to give him another one to watch while he is doing stuff at home and watching wrestling because it's on Powerbomb. So you should all do it too.
Yeah, it's been this whole thing where when I do the waking up to take care of the baby overnight, and Christy does the whole pumping thing with the breast milk and all that fun stuff we don't need to get into. But so I get up with the baby, I feed it, feed her. She's not knit. She's a girl. But then she likes to have like TV on in the background when she's falling asleep. She doesn't sleep well to like no noise, so I end up watching a bunch of wrestling. So I watched the AIW, what is it, Gauntlet for the Gold, like 10. So weird old shit on Powerbomb. It's definitely a good resource. You should sign up, and you should sign up using the promo code Alpha1. Also, internet video stuff on the Beyond Wrestling YouTube, a little mini documentary I shot on Donovan Dijaks last night and Beyond went up today now that he's made his NXT TV debut, so that's a
smart,
pretty cool thing that you can go watch on the Beyond Wrestling YouTube that I made. You can read my stuff every day over at CagesideSeats.com. They are the people who make this podcast possible, and make sure if you're listening to this that you rate and review on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you're listening, and follow me at Brent Brookhouse on Twitter. That should do it. Yeah, man. This was this was an episode that went all over the place. Started with Roseanne, talked about bad GoFundMes. Yeah, I like this. This is good.
Such is life.
All right, well, we will be back next week. We will talk some Long Halloween, and maybe I'll open up that idea Rolodex again, and we'll see what happens. Until then, safe travels, man.
See you, dude.